And we are now ready for our final speaker, senior journalist at Storyful UK. Please welcome Rachael Kennedy.
Hi, so I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know I am the last speaker, but I just want to give you a really brief insight into what we do at Storyful, in that we try and connect eyewitnesses to breaking news events, to the newsroom, by verifying social content that eyewitnesses have uploaded after witnessing a breaking news event, and we then verify it. So our journalists monitor all social platforms anywhere in the world, 24 hours a day. We source social content. We then verify it based on the source. We verify the location where a piece of content was taken or the date that it was taken. And then we clear it for use for our news clients all across the world. So you might recognize these photos. These were taken in 2016 during the Brussels bombings attacks. They were taken by a woman called Ketavan Cardova, who's actually in a unique position during this attack because she's a journalist for a Georgian broadcaster, but she was also an eyewitness on this day. She uploaded these photos to Facebook, and Storyful sourced these photos when she uploaded them. We reached out to Ketavan. We made sure that she was safe, that she was okay, and in a safer location than here. And then we cleared these photos for use for our news clients. We verified the location by comparing them to other photos that had been taken inside the airport and the date. And as I say, you might recognize them because they were then used on the front pages of many of the world's media, and they actually became some of the most iconic images from that day. Okay, as Jenny was mentioning earlier, not everything that's posted online is to be believed. So another set of work that Storyful usually does is to debunk footage when we can, if we can. This is just a really, really simple case. I'm not going to go into anything too complex because I don't have too much time, but this was the Lion versus Poacher, which some of you may have seen. It was footage that appeared online in June 2016, and the person who uploaded this said that they acquired the footage while they're in South Africa 3 months beforehand, before they uploaded this. And I'll just play it now and see what you think.
Here?
Yeah. To the left. Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, what a rush that was. He's so big.
Yeah. Put the gun up. Look straight down the camera. Right, I've left the camera running, so we'll get a few shots here for the wall at home, huh?
Oh, really?
No, that's good. Hey, that was a really good shot, Princess.
No,
good.
you.
Best one we've had all season.
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. No, at least 200 kgs. Huh?
Dad is gonna lose his mind over this.
Not so big now, eh, pussycat? Right, okay. Let's take one of these, huh? Get your guns out.
Oh, these
That's
ones?
it. Yeah, these ones, yes. That's it. Go, pump them. That's it.
Are you gonna work on this?
Oh, come on. Right, let me... Yeah, well... Right, I'll just check the camera, yeah? Okay. That's right. Okay, good stuff.
Okay, so after the first time we watched this video, there was some immediate red flags. Other than the really bad acting, which you might have noticed, there was also some discrepancies in the resolution of the lion in particular in the foreground here, and the shadows, or lack thereof. We're also wary about the timing of the video's release. Why would anyone who acquires footage several months beforehand then wait several months to upload it to YouTube and share it with anyone else? It's possible, but we had enough questions to continue digging. So we took a screen grab of the lion that initially raised concerns in the foreground of the video, and we did a quick Google reverse image search, which is quite simple, and it came up with the following results, which actually dated back several years. And so we can immediately say that this entire video had been fabricated. We actually traced this photo back to a collection of photos taken in 2013 in the Kalahari Desert. So I want to talk about maybe a more in-depth case study now. Storyful have followed the conflict in eastern Ukraine for quite some time. As with any war, there's always several sides to any story. So what we try to do with our verification work is maybe just within our limits, like build a map of events happening in that region where we can. So this is a really specific case. It happened at a Ukrainian government-controlled checkpoint in Volnovakha, which is the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine. It happened in January 2015, and a civilian bus was actually hit in this attack, which killed 12 people. Ukrainian officials, in the immediate aftermath of the attack, said that the attack was caused by artillery fire. Pro-separatist blogs and an investigation group set up by the Donetsk People's Republic, which is pro-separatist, said the attack may have been caused by a claymore mine, a roadside mine, and the deputy prime minister of the Donetsk People's Republic had a different account, and he said there was an incident at the checkpoint, but he didn't elaborate and said it ended with sporadic shooting or small arms fire. So in the immediate aftermath of the attack, Storyful actually verified some videos that were inside of the bus, and it showed the civilians had been killed. They're quite graphic, so I won't show those videos. But it didn't really tell us anything else about what happened and how the attack happened on that day, until we found this video, which was uploaded to a Facebook account of a Ukrainian soldier. As you can see from the number of explosions, if verified, we could probably tell a lot more about what happened on this day. So we set about trying to verify the source of the video. As I said, it was uploaded to Facebook by a Ukrainian soldier. He told Storyful that he was working at the checkpoint at the time of the attack. So we tried to verify his location as close as we could to the checkpoint, as close to the date of the attack as possible. So we started looking back through other videos we had actually verified at the time of the attack. We took a screenshot here of one of the videos. This was something we verified earlier in the day. As you can see, I've circled a snowman, as you can see in the background. We actually then looked back through the Ukrainian soldier's Facebook account, and we found this photo that was uploaded 2 days before of him posing with the same snowman. And even though it was 2 days before the actual attack, we could then say with some certainty that he had been at that checkpoint at some time in the recent days. So it was likely that he was telling the truth about being at the checkpoint at the time of the attack, and therefore had his hands on the original copy of the footage. So we'd already verified the location with other videos that we'd verified, but this is just an example. We compared the Google Maps image of the checkpoint to the surveillance footage, so you can see some similarities there with the bend in the road on the left-hand side, and we can compare the buildings as well, so we could confirm the location. And then to stand this up, we verified it with another video which showed the time of the attack by an anonymous source. You can actually see the bus in the background, but it's quite small on here. After the explosions, the source of the dashcam footage here actually drives all the way south of the checkpoint. So we decided to verify the location of this just to start to build a map of what actually happened. As you can see, at 1:47 in the footage, there's a filling station that's seen on the right-hand side, which we verified here. And as the source continues driving down the same road, they start to pass two underpasses at 4 minutes and 44 seconds, which we verified further south of the checkpoint as they were driving past Volnovakha town, here. And then with that information, we began to build a map about what actually happened that day. And here's the checkpoint. Just south of that was where the car with the dashcam footage was before it turned around and began to drive south past the filling station that we just verified. They continued driving south towards Volnovakha past these two underpasses here. And so we could ascertain that the attack was just north, of the checkpoint here. Just a quick note on the date. The footage from the Ukrainian soldier was date-stamped and time-stamped at the time, at the reported time of the attack, so it was corroborated with other stuff we'd worked on. The dashcam footage was date-stamped for mid-January at 9 o'clock in the evening, but we could discredit this pretty quickly because any footage that's captured in mid-January at 9 o'clock in the evening, we wouldn't expect to see any daylight like we did in this video. So we came to our final question. Was this a rocket attack like the Ukrainian government initially said? Or was it caused by a claymore mine, like the investigative group from the Donetsk People's Republic said? Or was it the small arms fire plus an incident that the Deputy Prime Minister of the Donetsk People's Republic said? Well, by comparing these two videos and the number of explosions that we can see here, we could quickly rule out a single roadside mine. We could also rule out small arms fire. It's unlikely it would cause something as big as that. So at Storyful, we believed that it was more in line with what the Ukrainian government initially said, in that it was likely caused by artillery fire. And then the OSCE conducted their own investigation, and they said that the bus where the civilians had been killed showed signs of shrapnel damage that was consistent with a nearby rocket impact. At Storyful, not only do we verify videos and photos in a breaking news event, but we also, as Jenny was talking about earlier, with fake news and the rush to be first for news organizations, we have found a lot of times in the last year that some news organizations have rushed to name suspects of crimes, and with that comes mistakes. So at Storyful, as most people these days have some sort of presence online, we can actually we work to find what we can and build a background about people who, where there are rumors online about them being a suspect of crime, we can build a background knowing what we do with their social presence. This is a quick case study of a story that I assume everybody knows about here. It was the Christmas market attack in Berlin in December 2016. For anyone who doesn't know, a truck was deliberately driven into a Christmas market here. 12 people were killed, including the truck driver, who was killed by assailant prior to the attack. The Islamic State claimed responsibility. 2 days after the attack, German media outlets released photos of leaked identity documents that were believed to have been found underneath the driver's seat of the truck that was used in the attack. And they were believed to show the reported suspect. He was named as Anis A. He was a Tunisian national, and there was a photo of him on these identity documents. So Storyful set to work to try and find out what we could about this man with his social presence and what we could find online. First of all, we found this Facebook profile, which these photos matched the photo that we'd seen on the leaked identity document. Obviously, the initials matched as well with Anis A, Anis Amri. But when we first looked, the profile was actually quite innocent looking. When we dug a little further, we found into his friends list, we found somebody who shared the same surname as him, Walid Amri. He had also posted photos of Anis, and because of this, we thought they were probably related. And Walid Amri was listed as living in Tunisia, which is where we made the Tunisian connection. However, even though we had more photos of Anis by now, we still didn't have any connections to the Islamic State. We couldn't connect him to extremism, and we certainly couldn't connect him to the Berlin market attack. And then, with a little bit more digging into the interactions made between the Walid Amri account, the Anis and Amri account, we came across a collection of accounts under the name Anis. They all shared lots of similarities, like this lion cover photo you see here. This was a common occurrence in all the profiles. There was a lion cover photo or a lion profile photo. And every single account had some sort of interaction with Walid Amri. If they weren't friends with Walid Amri, he had made an interaction with them. Like you see here, he had liked profile photos of this Anis account. This Anis profile was also listed as being from Dortmund. According to a developed report, Anis Amri was believed to have spent time with a presumed jihadist in Dortmund in 2016. This was a very, very weak link, but it was enough for us to keep digging. So we started looking at the page likes of all these Anis profiles. All of them are very, very similar, and so we started to believe that these profiles were probably controlled by the same person. A couple of interesting ones to note here were Kamal Zarrouk, who is the deputy leader of the Islamist militant group Ansar al-Sharia in Tunisia, Saeed Qatab, an Egyptian Islamic fundamentalist, the Daesh organization of the Sinai, Daesh being another way of saying the Islamic State, and he'd also liked a fan page for Anis Amri, who is the man from the first Facebook page. Again, another link linking Anis Amri to this collection of Anis profiles that were beginning to show signs of interest with extremist links. As we also, I won't show you here, but there was lots of interactions with other profiles for people living in Germany who were expressing openly extremist views, sympathies with Islamic State. They'd joined groups that were sympathetic with the Islamic State and were sharing, yes, extremist views. Okay, so this is the last profile I'll show you the relevance. Again, as I said before, there's a lion profile photo. It was something that kept cropping up in these Anis profiles. He was friends with Walid Amri. And then this is where we made the connection with Berlin. The cover photo was actually geotagged to Berlin. And then with a little bit more digging, because we still didn't have a concrete connection between Anis and Anis Amri, we then found this on this Anis profile. This was our final concrete connection between the collection of Anis profiles that had shown sympathies with extremism and sympathies with the Islamic State to Anis Amri, who initially had quite an innocent-looking Facebook profile. And with this, we packaged this all up and sent it as an FYI privately to our clients to say this is why we believe this is a man we should be looking into, and it's plausible that he could be connected to the Berlin market attack. And a few hours after we did this, the German police actually released photos of Anis Amri, naming him as a suspect in the Berlin market attack and offering a reward for his find. I hope I haven't bored you too much, but thank you.
No, not at all. Thank you, Rachel. Couple of quick questions about Storyful. First of all, just explain your sort of provenance. How are you funded? What do you do, apart from what we've seen?
We are owned by News Corp, and we just verify stuff we find online.
And your clients are news organisations?
Yes,
okay.
News organisations, and we do work with brands as well and advertisers for. But I know less.
Makes
about
absolute
that.
sense. Thank you again. Thank you.